Hi everyone guys, how are you feeling today? We have today an amazing lesson, so it's a mental level and we're here to improve our fencing mentally. And today we will work with a lesson not usual, not like psychological or something else. Today we will prepare for the competition. We will really prepare for the competition and I will explain by my experience how to prepare for the competition better. And your choice to do it like me or find your own way. I think we are ready, let's go. In this lesson, we will consider together with you not the technical component and not the global plans for preparing for the competition. Not at all, guys. Today, we will prepare for the tournament in terms of the usual human routine and standard human tasks. Let's imagine the situation that we will have a competition next week. It can be an away tournament, so we need to fly by plane or drive a car, or at home in your city or districts. Our goal is to perform at the tournament as successful as possible, and now I will tell for you some interesting tricks. So, how do we prepare properly? We do with finish training. Is there any special way to spend the last training session? How are things going with nutrition, hydration, and how to fly in a plane or drive a car before the tournament so that your legs don't get numb? I will try to fit all this and even more into one lecture today. So, we will start with 10 days before the tournaments. So, we are on the last cycle of the preparation. From now on, keep in mind that you will not learn anything in fencing and you will not do anything better in your fencing right now. The maximum that you can do now is try to keep fit until the tournament itself and the peak level of bring it to the peak directly before the tournament. That's all you must do. Don't spoil that you have and if possible, try to improve it a little. Know that you will achieve the best results if you reach 90% of your shape by the start of the tournament. In this case, you will reach 100% power in the middle of the tournament. Yes, there is opinion that you will achieve the best results if you get into 100% shape by the start. This is a misconception. Your form will come and go like waves. This process is very difficult to control and only experienced coach and athletes can do it. So the most ideal situation is if your form before the start is 90%. Then in the middle of the competition you will reach to the maximum. But if you already have 100% in front of the group, then your performance and reaction, sense of distance and so on will decrease as you progress through the tournament, which will not be very pleasant. As for the training process itself, all subsequent workouts should be at 70-80% of your maximum capacity, and as you move towards the tournament day by day, this percentage may go down to 50-60%. There is no need to force anything and spend a hellish amount of physical and mental strain. Relax and enjoy the process as much as possible. Everything that you could do, you have already done. You have 2-3 days left to practice some technique or work on mistakes. So choose a maximum of 1 or 2 actions that you want to improve and work only on them. Private lessons are welcome currently, but don't overdo it. 1 double or single lesson a day is enough. At this point, cyclic of emotions, you can mess up and overtrain. Be careful, guys. Take care of yourself and do not fight in training in a row. After each fencing bout, take at least 5 minutes of rest and do not spend too many long bouts for 15 touches. So at this time, try to listen to your body and understand what it wants. More rest, a change of scenery, an extra day off, or maybe an extra workout. You know better what you need if you own body. Be sure to trust your body and be able to listen to it. It is an amazing skill that will be useful to you in any case and not only in sport. You're also completely free from all diets and restrictions. Eat whatever you want, guys. Really be happy. Probably sleep 9-10 hours a day. Again, I'm telling you how best to do it ideally, if possible. You have the last chance to do some kind of relaxation produced. For example, go to the pool, lie in a hot tub or go to the sauna or get a massage. Keep in mind that after such procedures, which I am all for, there is a small period of form drawdown. That is normal and many of you have probably already experienced this. This is a feeling when your legs feel like cotton wool, the reaction is a little slow and your hands is not fully over you. I assure you, this is a very short-term and normal reaction of the body to the recovery process. In a couple of days, you will be even faster, stronger, and more agile than before the recovery process. Massage, swimming pool, warm bath are extremely effective in restoring the muscles of the whole body, and it's a proven fact that is thanks to recreation produced that your body becomes more productive and harder in every sense. But later than 9 days before the tournament, these products are not recommended really. Be careful about it. So, let's go to the next stage. So, 7 days before tournaments. This were the finish line of preparation. Now almost nothing depends on you, since you have done everything in the last months, year and the career. So from this moment in the training process, you stop practicing any technique in technical terms. So every bout that you do in training, you fence slowly on the results and probably with a referee. You should reduce the number of practice bouts per training session. But it is also imperative to fence every bout with maximum concentration, guys, maximum concentration and quality. Use all your tactical and technical skills to the maximum. There is no more time to try, it's time to act for real. You can also start reducing the number of private lessons, and it is extremely necessary to reduce their time, guys. Here, very, very, very important. From now on, pay more attention to the warm-up process and stretching after training. As the body reached its peak shape, there is a risk of injury and at the most important moment. Your body may simply not be ready for what your brain is ready for. So be careful and warm up as much as possible and hitch up. So prepare your legs, stretch perfect. In fact, during this period, all training is reduced not only to a warm-up, a private lesson, training bout, and a hitch. We spend a minimum of time on footwork, target practice, and general physical training. 1 week before the tournaments, we try to spend as little energy as possible on our other life situations. For example, exams, personal life, and so on. I know it's very hard, but try to do it. Fencing competitions are often a marathon for 12 or 13 hours sometimes, so we will need all the reserve of our body. In terms of nutrition, you can start to shift a little towards long carbohydrates and reduce your protein intake per day. It will also help to accumulate energy and prepare you for the grilling loads during the tournament. Drink more water and electrolytes during your workout to prevent dehydration at the most unpleasant moment, guys. Sometimes it was with me. So 2-3 days before the tournaments, we come to the more interesting place. We're entering a critical emotional zone. Now everything that you do, hear, see, your mental consequences will interpret in its own way. It is usually at this moment that mind panic attacks, nervousness, and self-doubt begin. The best cure for this trouble is going to a sport psychologist, if you already have one. Watching motivational future films, self-meditation, and switching attention. You must understand the following: you are perfectly prepared, you have done everything possible in your power and even more. That's why you have nothing to worry about, guys. You are ready. At the last training session before the tournament, check all your blades, all your equipment. It must be completely ready and perfectly configured. You have one last chance to fix everything. Never, I repeat, never doubt your weapon. Do and check it so that you don't even have a thought about its malfunction. You can't even imagine how the thought of a faulty weapon crashed during the competition. So get rid of it and prepare everything perfectly. In the evening after last workout, pack your bag and check everything carefully. The prospect of fencing not in your own fencing pants can have an extremely negative effect on your results, guys. I recommended stopping any physical activity 2 days before the tournament. Your body is perfectly prepared. Now let it gain a straight and refresh itself. The most you can do is a light warm up and stretching 2 days before the tournament. But I strongly advise against fencing or even getting a private lesson. Remember that you must not only be trained and ready, but you also need to be light and fresh. In terms of nutrition, we almost completely switched to long carbohydrates and fats, minimizing the amount of protein in our diet. The body has already begun to actively switch to a competitive mode and has already begun to spend more energy and calories. And you need to help it. Currently, there is also a risk of overeating due to pre-tournament stress. Be sure to control the amount you eat. Do not include in sweets and frequent snacks. And do not forget that overeating before going to bed is a very bad idea. Falling asleep with an empty stomach will significantly increase the quality of sleep and thus improve your overall condition. So, 24 hours before the tournaments. Now your body is working on superpowers, as if you are already standing on a fencing street. Your brain did it for you and it's the right thing to do, really. During this period, try to relax as much as possible. In the morning, pack your bag completely and check everything carefully several times. I always like to check everything with music before competition. If the tournament is taking place in your city and you don't need to go anywhere, you can take a little walk, go to the cinema or spend time with your family in a relaxed atmosphere. Try not to stray or get nervous. Be like in a tank, as my mom used to say. Meditation itself helped me and a lot personally. In it, I replayed my best bouts and best touches over and over again in my head. This process gave me a boost of additional positive emotions, strength and confidence. Go to bed a little earlier than usual the day before the tournament and try to fall asleep as soon as possible. You can use smoothing music. I recommended that you keep the window open so you will saturate your brain with oxygen much more, you will sleep better, and in the morning you will be much more rested. But if you need to fly by plane or drive to the competition venue, I prefer an airplane, guys, then spend the whole trip as calmly as possible. Arrive to the airport in advance so that you can through all the checks and inspections without hurrying and without being nervous. Before the flight, try to drink as little as possible so that excess water, which in case of an overabundance on your cells, does not lead to swelling of the legs and the whole body during the flight. I also highly recommend using compression socks for flying at any distance and especially long distance to prevent swelling of the limbs. But during the flight, try to drink at least 150 to 200 milliliter of liquid every hour, since the air in the plane is kept very dry, about 5-20%, while the human body needs 50-65%. Don't forget about nutrition. We also under the control what we eat. Do not sign sweets and prefer long carbohydrates and fats. Now probably the most interesting and unique information, at least I have not yet seen lectures or articles on this subject. I mean when to sleep on the plane and which seats is better to choose. So if you and I are flying from west to east, then it's best to not to sleep. Alright, since when you change time zones, you will find yourself at your destination in the evening. So no matter how strong the temptation to take a nap is, do not do it otherwise you will struggle with yourself for half the night to get some sleep. On the contrary, the situation awaits us if we fly from west to east. In the case, I recommended getting as much sleep as possible, since upon arrival at the place you will have almost the same time as on departure, and you will need to spend the whole day without falling into a sleepy pit during the day. Now I want to draw your attention to the choice of seat on your plane. If you are flying for a short distance for up to 2-3 hours of flight, then feel free to take a seat at the aisle. This way you can stretch your limbs, calmly go out and stretch at any moment, and your neighbors will bother you minimally. And vice versa for long distance, when flying from 3.5 hours or more. Take a seat only by the window, because then you will not be disturbed by your neighbors, passengers, so that you can let them through. Take most comfortable seat at the window and enjoy the flight. Most importantly, avoid places in the middle, and if you have the opportunity to get to the competition in business class, then this is only welcome and best way, guys. After flying by plane or driving to your destination, it doesn't matter if it was a long way or a short one. Be sure to give your body 20-25 minutes upon arrival at the hotel, good stretching for the whole body. You can do this before going to bed, and then it will have a very positive effect on the spend of going to sleep. The evening before tournament, upon arrival at the place, be sure to go through the weapon check and registration for the competition. It's also very, very important that you don't have anything in your mind. Then, of course, what about else? Checks all the weapons and equipment again, guys, and prepare everything. Have a light dinner, read a book, or watch a motivation short sports movie, kind of like this. I do like this. And go to bed, so that you will sleep at least 8 hours before competition. I don't like less, and I don't like more too. The morning of the tournament, I recommended waking up at least 2.5 hours before the start of the groups, so that you are fully awake and have energetic and cheerful as positive at the very beginning. Good morning, athletes! Your day has come, the day of the competition. You have been super prepared, and if you also listening to my advice, you are even better prepared for this tournament. So we woke up. What we will do? Yes, as usual, wash up, get dressed, pack your stuff, and go ahead for a light breakfast. During breakfast, give preference at large amounts of fruits and carbohydrates, fast carbohydrates here. You can eat chocolate, bananas, and extremely welcome. Now it's the turn of fast carbohydrates and sugars, but don't overdo it. Don't overdo it, guys. An hour and a half before the start, you must enter the fencing hall. Half an hour is more than enough to completely change clothes, prepare for the warm-up, register and start warming up. We try to communicate minimally with other people, but we also do not completely shut ourselves off from the whole world. Just keep the energy to yourself, don't throw it out on everyone, you need it. An hour before the start, let's start the warm-up. It should be super powerful, but not exactly light either. It should be a good 20-minute warm-up to a light sweat with elements of light running, warming up, and the joints of your body, as well as a good stretch. I'm absolutely not against 5-minute movement during the pre-competition warm-up, but I always have a complete flexibility about a private lesson half an hour before the tournament. Personally, it has not done me any good in my career. It is much better to have a few practice bouts instead of a private lesson fence. By the way, about the number, I recommended no more than 4-6 bouts for 5 touches. That will be enough. After that, be sure to leave time for a little rest in front of the groups. At the point, sit quietly or rather lie down with your feet on a chair or on the wall. Relax for 10 minutes and listen to music. Turn on the competition, turn on the fight. Tell yourself that you have done everything in your power to prepare for today. And you will give your best to be proud of yourself, and be sure that you will be satisfied and you will fencing your performance. And you will be thought go out to your first bout in your group. That's all, guys. That's all I want to tell for you. You and I have come a long way, starting from 10 days before the competition and ending with the first bout in the group. I especially don't give any personal tricks like a certain genre of music that I have to hear, my habits or rituals, because every athlete and every person are different and unique in their own way. And if one person likes a certain system and habits, then the other does not. You need to find your unique path, your unique way, your training system and your style, and then you will be the best and visible. Good luck, be the best, and see you on the street. Bye.